This month, the Plein Air magazine has come out, and this is the one that they're giving away at the conference too, because the editor of the Plein Air magazine, this is their conference that they're having, that all of these plein air artists from all over the country are going, and it's in Monterey next week. And if you can't afford to go to the conference, you can find out where the artists are painting for 3 days, and so you can actually go and set up in those places, and they can't ask you to move. And so you can be surrounded by the best artists in the country and paint. So it's in Monterey, and if you call me, I'll tell you where we're at on certain days. So if you want to paint with them and be part of that, that's perfectly fine. It's Monday through Thursday of next week. Yeah. So if you want to go to Monterey and paint, every day they meet as a group. So there's 700 artists meeting at different places like Point Lobos and stuff. So just to even wander around and look at all the painters is fun. Plus also they have an art show that is from all of the artists that are participating. So you can actually see that too. So, but anyway, in this magazine this time, we actually have an ad for the Grandview in it, which is kind of cool. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that like major?
And it stands out really nicely.
I learned something about marketing.
I love that magazine.
One thing.
I go to
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble to look good.
It's the #1 selling magazine in Barnes & Noble. But I learned something about marketing. And it's interesting because when I requested this, because they actually gave me, because they're a sponsor of the Grandview, they actually gave me a quarter page. And they wanted to upsell me to a half a page. And I said, I'll go a half a page, but I want to have it read right-hand upper level. And so like out of all these ads, you have ads all over the place, right? Right, all over. I said, I want it to be in this corner over here. And she said, you know what's funny? She says, nobody ever requests where to be put in the magazine. And so, yeah, that's where you end up. Huh?
Why did you pick that?
Because I know how the brain works. We read from left to right. And normally when you read magazines, you read this way. So normally you don't look on this side. And normally we read magazines backwards. We're like Persians. So we usually in a doctor's office you can watch and everybody flips like that. So I want to be on this side of the magazine, the Grandview.
There it is.
So yeah, I take this is my hour, so I get to do I'm marketing myself to you guys. But no, this is like composition. Remember how we talked about composition and how I talk about, you go from left to right, and anything you want dominant, your main focal point you want on here. Same thing with advertising. And in newspapers, to advertise on this side of the newspaper is more expensive than on this side of the paper. So, and it's the same thing with painting. If you want a good composition, you want your main subject matter to be on the right-hand side. If you're from the Western culture. Now, if you're Persian, they read backwards. So, or Jew.
Japanese.
Well, Japanese you read up and down.
And then go backward this way.
And backwards too. Okay. But when you think about artwork done in China, they do it in scrolls. And so they read it up and down. But in Western culture, we read from left to right. And so that's why in compositions, when we look at compositions in paintings, compositions for Western culture is more pleasing when the main subject matter is on the right-hand side. In newspapers, this part of the magazine is more expensive to purchase than this part of the magazine. And it's interesting that they said that they didn't get any requests to advertise on that. So that's something to know. If you have an opportunity to ever advertise in a magazine, get the upper right-hand corner. And don't feel like you're being pushy, because she said nobody ever requests. And now I'm going to shoot myself, because now all of you are going to get that part of the magazine and I'm not going to be able to get in. Yeah. But that's kind of like a hidden secret. If you're spending, most of these ads here are $2,000 for a half a page. $4,000 for a full page. So if you're spending $2,000 for a page, you don't want to be here or down here in the corner. You want your money's worth. So in this magazine, I'm featured there, and I have an article in it. So you guys,
Where do you get this magazine?
no, they wrote it at Barnes and Noble. It's the #1 selling magazine at Barnes and Noble.
Oh, yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend the Plein Air magazine. Wonderful ideas. The thing is, it's all up right up your alley. And this month, you have an article on me in it. So anyway, and look, upper left-hand corner. Just like upper right-hand corner, just like it's supposed to be. I didn't ask that. I could have ended up being like this person over here on this side, but I just accidentally got on the right side here, so that's really cool.
What month is it?
This month.
March?
Yeah, May, June. It's for 2 months, so it's May, June.
Is that the same painting in both cases?
No, the other painting is no, it's Half Dome.
No, I thought that one was half done.
This is Half Dome from Glacier Point, and this is Half Dome from the Valley Floor. This is actually done at Christmas time, but this is an article about the television show on PBS, which is on the air, so contact your PBS stations and let them know you want to see it. The people at the PBS stations, you talk to the program director, and they're so small that you're talking to the person who makes the decision. They won't say, well, we have to go to committee and find out whether or not we can do that. If you can get the program director on the phone, he's the one that you can persuade to put on the show. And the thing is, if you don't call them and let them know, they're going to put cooking shows on, because that's easy. Painting shows, they don't know that. Most people don't know that plein air painting is a phenomenon that's happening right now. You know, when we first did our television show, plein air painting was, outdoor painting. In fact, I didn't even know what plein air painting was. We went outdoors to paint, so it was outdoor painting. When we launched the show, we were premature. Plein air painting's only become popular in the last 3 or 4 years. And it's gotten really, really popular, to the point that it's a very social thing for people to do. Almost every city in the country has got plein air groups. So, but
We used to go and paint outside too.
yeah, we used to have a caravan.
Can we do that again?
Yes, we can. Remember, how many of you went on the caravans?
I'd like
You
to
went.
do that.
Yeah, I mean that was fun, going to Tetons and the Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and so we could do that again, definitely.